Welcome back to the Tahoe Real Estate Show. We've got Fred Jackson in the studio. Fred, you're from Tahoe Lobster Company. For some of our viewers that maybe aren't familiar with your company here in Lake Tahoe, give us an overview.
Well, we were actually conceived due to the overpopulation of the crayfish right here in the lake, crawfish, crayfish. There's a crayfish that was introduced in 1895, and it just exploded over time. Studies have shown that, from 1970 they counted 50 million, and now we're at over 300 million now. And the problem is they live in the nearshore environment, so they excrete basically poop, if you want to call it that, 5% of their body weight. So that comes up to millions of tons of waste.
300 million?
Yeah, so 5% of body weight is quite a good mass, and that gets put in the warm water, and the algae cells could grab onto it, and that's why you see the algae blooms in all the bays.
Oh, wow, I wasn't even aware of that. We talk about a business connection and a European connection. European connection here in the Lake Tahoe market?
Well, the European connection used to be a big connection down the Delta. They went after the signal crayfish there in the 70s and 80s. And they kind of backed away from it due to the lower crayfish populations and all the pesticides and stuff that come down the river. But when they found out that we had a crayfish fishery here in Lake Tahoe, they jumped at the chance. And so we're going to start moving stuff to Sweden and Finland and through the United Kingdom, through a distributor in the United Kingdom.
Your operation is actually spurning some economic growth here in Lake Tahoe with a new company, Tahoe Crayfish Company?
Yeah, there's Tahoe Crayfish Company that's owned by Patrick McIntyre, and he's a real good guy. He's just getting into it. So I've kind of grabbed onto him, teach him the ropes a little bit, and he's going to be right alongside Tahoe Lobster Company, and we're going to push this product together. It takes a whole village to do our clarity project, and he's a big believer in the clarity issue. He's lived here his whole life, and so we're going to go at this together as a team.
I'm from Maine, from New England. I kind of know this. I kind of know the answer to this question, but can you eat the crayfish? Is it good? Is it a delicacy? Can you find it here in the basin?
The only thing I can compare it to is your own Maine lobster. We actually had the Lobster Association in Maine call the office and say, hey, you can't call your crayfish lobster because lobster is lobster.
Right.
And that's the Department of Ag, and that's what they want to call it. And I told them, I said, we don't call it lobster. That's just the name of the business. Hence, Tahoe Lobster Company, but everything that we advertise is crawfish, crayfish, or whatever you wanted to call it, but it's never advertised as lobster. But it's a good catchy name.
We've got a festival at Mount Blue this August. What's that all
Yeah,
about?
there's some private people that are teaming up with the Visitors Association, and I think it's August 24th. They're going to put on a little festival here and try to draw some people in and start a new venue. And basically, we want to pull everybody out of California and put them right here in Nevada and start a whole new venue for the region.
Fred, for our viewers that weren't familiar with Tahoe Lobster Company, what's the best way to get some more information, phone number, and a website?
Just go on the Tahoe Lobster website. You can Google it up. It'll pop right up. You can go there, or you can call Sierra Gold Seafood at 352-9595, and they will have the availability. It's a seasonal catch, so call ahead to see what's available at the warehouse.
So Fred, being from New England, I'm well versed on lobster traps, but what depths do you set the traps here in the Tahoe Basin?
Right now, the crayfish are starting to migrate back into the 55 to 70 foot level, so our traps are all in that level, and our marker comes up within 15 feet of the surface, and it's GPS'd. And basically, we're in Secret Harbor, Skunk Harbor, Dead Man's Point area. So if you're out there fishing, you end up hooking one of our deals, just unhook it and leave it where it's at, and everything will be copacetic.
Fred, I appreciate you taking time to join us.
All right, thank you.
All right, stay tuned. The Daily Grind is up next.